Back in March, I started following this incredible Colorado dancer named Sammy Steadman on Instagram. I was blown away by her shuffling skills, and she's here joining us on the show today to not only give us tips on how to do moves like this, but also show how we can get some professional instruction. Let's take a look.
I was here in quarantine during, all of this mess, and I was scrolling Instagram and I found your page when I was having just the worst day ever, and it totally turned me around. So you just radiate positivity, girl.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers? Tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're so passionate about this amazing style of dance that you do.
I picked this dance up watching other dancers on Instagram. Very similar reaction where I was like, wow, this is super positive. I'm so inspired. And I'm a nurse in real life. So I was starting to kind of lack that work-life balance, kind of falling into kind of like the little bit of the spell of like burnout with nursing. And so finally decided to start dancing last January, and it's completely changed my life. And so ever since I started kind of getting the swing of things, I've been trying to inspire other people to do the same because it's changed me so much as a person and given me so much joy. So now we teach classes. We have a local group in Denver of about like 50 other dancers that just kind of meet together, support each other, hang out, and it's no competition,
Right.
just nothing but fun. So.
Oh, I love that. I've been seeing some of your, posts about classes picking up, and you guys are working within the COVID restrictions to make it work. But tell us the style of dance that you do. What is it called? Where does it come from? Because it's unlike anything I've really seen before besides Michael Jackson doing a moonwalk.
Right. So this is kind of like an underground style of dancing. It's not super well known, but I think it's finally starting to get the recognition it deserves. But it started in the 90s in Melbourne, Australia, and has kind of peaked in waves of popularity since. The styles have totally changed. There's new ones that have developed. So you can either call it shuffling. There's also something called cutting shapes. I do both. So like shuffling is where you see a lot of like the stepping and the running man, the slides and all that. The shapes where you see those like fast footwork movements and tricks and whatnot. So I try to do both. But there's a lot of different styles developing. So I think that this is here to stay this time. I don't think that there's going to be a downhill wave anymore.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing. And then, like you said, the difference between the shuffle and then cutting shapes, I can tell when you do that, and it changes the mood to the whole piece. But so we'll talk about these classes, because I know that once we show off your dancing, all of our viewers are going to want to know how they can start, finding out more about this, if not recommending it to somebody else who wants to get in shape, boost their mood, and like you said, kind of balance that work-life balance in quarantine.
For sure. So I personally, I just wanted to give people resources to do it. So I put a ton of tutorials on TikTok that are free that everybody can use. So that would be a good starting point. But if you're feeling like you want more structure, I teach online classes where you can learn a choreography. You hang out with me for 2 hours in a group environment, you make some friends, and it's all through Zoom. And then now me and my friends are going to be starting up in-person classes. They'll be really small to start just with COVID restrictions, but it'll be another way. If you're in Denver and local, you can pick this up and start learning and meet some of us. I promise we're really fun people. So
and also, you're clearly in great shape, and we'll see this here. Your legs are so toned from doing all this. So tell us the physical benefits of this type of dance.
So it's like the equivalent of running sprints, essentially. Everybody kind of gets a little bummed out when they start at first because they see us dancing. They're like, oh, it looks easy, I can do it. And then they're like, oh my goodness, this is choreo. This is like cardio. And I'm huffing and puffing. But it works every single muscle in your body. There's so much fine muscle development that happens along with it. And you get, your core involved and all sorts of things. So.
Well, I think it's time to take a look. Sam, why don't you show us what you got?
All right.
Sam, that was awesome. I was just taking some videos from my Instagram story to show you off. Thank you for being here on Coco. We're going to hopefully get a lot of people interested in your classes so you can come over, teach us on the rooftop, and we'll start spreading the word.
Sounds good.
Oh, we love Sam. Well, incredibly, she's only been shuffling since 2019, and she's offering private, online, and custom classes where you can burn calories and gain coordination all at the same time. So check out her Instagram story or send her an email to inquire about her classes.